let me finish this.
Part two.
Okay,
We're continuing about what men do high value women want.
Anyways,
You were talking about your family living, your parents.
So going to New York, I saw like, wow, my parents gave me everything. You know, we were living in a small, maybe 742 square feet. That was so precise. Why did I say 742?
But 742 is very
square
small.
feet is very small. Yeah, I'm trying to help you guys see the picture. You know.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was
nowadays that's the $3,000 apartment.
Yeah,
facts.
$3,000 a month.
So like when I saw that my mom, when my mom came here illegally, you know what I'm saying, and she was like, she gave her life to my dad. She trusted my dad with everything. She's like, I trust you. I will literally, and she raised 3 kids by herself, and my dad was out there grinding and getting it and making something for himself. You're 22 years old. Your life is not together. Yeah. You're still trying to, and you have 3 kids at home. You have no other choice but to, do what you have to do to provide for your family. So when I saw the dynamic between my dad and my mom, my mom came here illegally. She got her finally. She was able to go to school if she wanted to, make something out of herself. She said no to all of that to give back to her kids. So to me now, what I'm looking for is when I see that dynamic, I'm like, whoa, like I cannot settle for somebody who can't be accountable. I cannot settle for somebody who cannot lead me. I cannot settle because you know what? If they work this hard, this is not even about me. This is about my generation, about my kids. You know what I'm saying? If I can make this decision, then how would I expect my kids to make a good decision for themselves? Yeah. So when I see it like that, I'm just like, to me, it's like what I came from and what I'm going towards. And if you can't match that, then there's like no reason to be kind of like entertaining each other. So to me, I find someone who's just like, a high value woman looks for a man who will never put an excuse to anything, who do what he has to do to provide for him and his family. And if a man actually cares about himself, he will do what he has to do to provide not only for himself but his family and the people he loves. That's
good. For me, I'm gonna say what kind of men do I look for, like as a high value woman? A man that has integrity, is not afraid to love other people, knows how to love. Is okay with being vulnerable, knows how to be loyal, a man who's generous, not just with his things, but with his time, generous with his time, not just with me. I also I look for these traits and how they are with other people, because they could treat you, again, that would be like their representative. They could give you all those, but you got to watch how they treat other people, because that's when you really see who they are. For me, what I look for is a man who is okay being a leader, but doesn't make other people feel like they're behind him and he has to be on top. A man who has his ego in check, and who, if I have a conversation and we have a disagreement in what we're talking about, he doesn't get defensive. Right. Or if he gets defensive, he doesn't get he doesn't take it personal. Yeah. It does require maturity, but I don't think that has to do that has nothing to do with age, because I've actually found that sometimes men that are younger actually get it better than men that are older. Yeah. Because older, they're so set in their ways, they think it has to be that way. Yeah.
I checked myself the other day. Sorry, side note. The other day I thought like, only older guys have like gone through life and they've only experienced like good stuff. So then that they could lead me correctly, but that's so wrong. Like, you can definitely be younger
thus far
and know how to treat women.
Yeah, thus far.
To prioritize one, though, what would it be?
For me, it's integrity, because a man that has integrity, he's not. All the other ones are going to follow through. Integrity is doing what's right when no one's looking, and sticking to your commitments with yourself, and commitments with others, and integrity. You value life different when you have integrity. Like for instance, I told you long ago, like I was going to start a podcast where I mentioned it, right?
Here we are.
Integrity is here we are. I had a studio deal, but I wanted to let it go and go solo. And for a moment, I didn't know how I even was going to set it up, because I know nothing about this. And I just got what I got, and it's been working. And some of the stuff I've already posted has made a couple of changes. But so integrity is like you say something and you actually do it. You put it into action physically. You need to have integrity with yourself. That's one of the reasons why people struggle with self-love, because they don't have integrity. And you can see that the way a person treats themselves, because integrity is, okay, if I say to myself, like tonight when I go to bed, tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. Tomorrow comes, I start my day and I go to the gym. I have fulfilled a commitment with myself. I feel good with myself at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if it's at 6 in the morning, 9 in the morning, 12, whatever the time is of the day. I went to the gym the next day. I stuck to what I said I was going to do. I am physically giving evidence to my mind, to my spirit, that I stick to my word. I stick to that to myself. So if I tell a friend, for instance, like let's say it's Monday and we make plans to like, yeah, we're going to have lunch on Saturday. I don't need to talk to you the rest of the week. I'm going to be there Saturday for lunch. You know, there may be a difference in 30 minutes or whatever because things happen. But integrity is you actually stick through it. Not like, oh, we're going to meet and then the time comes and then you send me a message saying like, I have to do this and that, this is happening and that is happening. You're not telling me if you're still meeting me or not. That's a person that's struggling with integrity, you know? That means they struggle with self-love. They struggle with self-love. And if they struggle with self-love, they're not ready for a relationship. Like I found myself telling a man not too long ago, if this is happening, you shouldn't be dating. Yeah. And I shouldn't be dating also. Actually, that's another thing. Sometimes you got to also tell the other person that maybe it's not for you either, you know, that maybe you're not ready for it either. Because just because you're healed and you feel like you know stuff and you have wisdom doesn't mean that you're ready, like you've hit the pinnacle. Like every day you're going to be learning something new. You're going to be changing, you know, even into your 50s. Yeah. So we talked about some interesting stuff here. We talked about relationship expectations. We talked about dating and marriage in today's world. And we talked about what kind of men do high value women want. And I think it all stems down to one thing. I think it stems down to the importance of self-love in a person's life to help you understand how to go through levels in your connections so that, you know, you value what you have. And men, don't put things into categories too soon. You may miss out on a really great person. So I want to thank you, Vera.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Jane, for being here. I want to thank you.
This was so much fun. I loved it. This was such a good time.
I want to thank.
Awesome.
We could do another one. It could be about something else relationship related.
Yeah.
It could be about sex.
Not with animals, please. Oh my God. Sex looks at me.
Oh, here comes my dog. I want to thank you for staying and watching. If you followed us this long, I love you so much. I hope you subscribe. I hope you share. I hope you like it. And if you have a comment. I'm not afraid of good ones or negative ones. I want to know. And yeah, thank you for being with Love Tribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.